Dear students, today's lecture plays a very important role in your career. We are going to discuss certain important topics from highway planning and development. So, the topics that we are going to cover in today's lecture are: we will be discussing about the scope of highway engineering, what is highway, what are the scopes involved, what are the characteristics of the road transport, what is the importance of road transport, and what are the advantages of construction of any kind of roads. So we will be discussing the scope with respect to 3 WH questions. We will try to understand the concept by understanding 3 WH questions: why, what, and how. Before jumping into the topic, we need to have the certain basic knowledge about why we need to learn particular subject. So let us learn about the answer of why we need to learn the particular transportation or highway sector. So India is having 33 lakhs kilometer of highway network current, as far as current scenario is concerned. It is the major channel of transport in India. India is having the second largest transportation sector in the world, and transportation in form of roads plays an important role with respect to feeder, defense, war, and construction of coast is concerned. So we have heard number of times that that is the particular kind of road in existence. Then we have heard the term of highway. Then let us learn the difference between normal road and highway. How can you understand that this is the particular thing which is called as highway and you should not call it as road? So highways are the roads which are constructed on small embankments slightly above the ground level. So let us understand this particular sketch, that this is the ground level. If your particular vehicles are traveled slightly above, you can understand the particular height difference, that if the particular pedestrian and vehicles are traveling slightly higher than this ground level, then this particular road is known as highway. Then what is engineering? Engineering is the use of science or maths to design or make anything possible. Now, how the particular scope of highway engineering or transportation engineering can be implemented? So we need to understand certain phases like development planning, alignment, highway geometric design, highway materials, pavement design, pavement construction, pavement maintenance, various kind of economic criteria considerations, and traffic engineering. So this is the particular, what I can say, this is the particular brief of this topic, that what is highway or how can you differentiate the road from a normal highway. So whenever a road is constructed slightly above the embankment, embankment means slope, if the road is constructed on a slope which is higher than the ground level, you can observe the particular thing is this sketch. So this is called as highway. Now let us learn about the characteristics of road transport. So following are the various kind of main characteristics of road transport. The movement of passengers and goods is facilitated from one place to another with the help of roads only. We all know that. Then roads serve as a feeder line. If you want to catch any kind of railway, airways or waterways, you need to reach to the particular location with the help of feeder line, that is roads. That is called as roadway or roads. During the war times as well as the peace time, the network of road is an asset to the national defense. Roads are used by various means of transport such as road vehicles, animal carts, pedal cycles, rickshaws, automobiles, passenger cars, etc. If we are talking about the railway tracks, then they can be only used by locomotives and wagons, and they are used by only ships and boats. So roads serve as a major transportation feeder line. Now the road transport offers a complete freedom to the road users, as the road user are transferred the vehicle from the one lane to another and another lane to the particular lane with respect to the need and their convenience. The road transport save the time, particularly if we are talking about the short distance travel. Better law and order can be maintained through good network of the road in the country. One minus point about this road transport is that the fatal casualty means accident rate is quite higher in the road network as compared to railway and airway traffic. But we are involving very small kind of investment for construction and maintenance, and the construction and maintenance of the road is cheaper than the railway tracks, docks, harbors and airports. So these are the various kind of road characteristics that it helps in the movement of passengers and goods. It serve as the feeder line during war times. Also it serve as the feeder line. It is used by majority of the commuters. It offers saving in time, saving in cost, and it helps in implementation of better law and order. Now, what are the advantages of construction of any kind of roads? So, these are the following kind of advantages. First is that they are essential for economic prosperity and overall development of any country. If we are looking a wholesome scenario, so it plays an important role in economic prosperity. Now, another advantage of having road is they play a vital role in national defense, as I have mentioned earlier. It promotes the national integration. Then it promotes the social and cultural growth also. They prove to be comparatively cheaper and convenient as compared to other modes. So cheaper and convenient. Then they assist in maintaining the law and order. The another point is that they provide good commercial links also. They provide good commercial links in the whole country. Then they help in growth of trade and other economic activities in and outside the villages and towns. So for trading development. And last but not the least, they serve as a feeder line for railways, waterways and airways, and hence it helps in the development of these particular classes of transport. So this is how you can understand the advantages of road in detail. So we have covered various kind of topics such as characteristics of road, importance of road, why the construction of road is required, what is the highway, what are the scopes of highway, and what are the advantages of roads. I hope you have gone through all the slides in detail. Hope you have understood the concept. Thank you. Dear students, we are going to cover this much of topics in our today's lecture. We will going to cover the necessity of highway planning. Then we will be discussing over the objects of highway planning, that why the particular highway planning is required in any kind of country. Then we will be discussing about the road classification, and I have prepared or formulated a specific method that is called as PSC method, through which you will be enabled to understand and memorize this particular concept very easily. So let us move in the detail that what all these topics are stating about. Let us discuss in detail. The first topic is the necessity of highway planning. We have learnt in our previous lecture that before jumping into any topic, we need to encounter three WH questions regarding any topic. That what is that particular topic all about? Why is it required to be learnt, and how it can be understood easily? So let us understand why highway planning is required, or what is the necessity of highway planning. Friends, be focused and let us learn why this necessity of highway planning is required. So you will be amazed to know that in our country, in India, approximate there are 30,000 villages which are not even linked by any type of roads. And this kind of deficiency or lacuna in the road development has contributed greatly in the agricultural, commercial and industrial drawbacks. Thus, the transportation system in India has often proven to be a major hurdle in nature's march towards unity, progress and prosperity. Due to the absence of comprehensive long range planning, we have to encounter a number of minus points in our growth, in our economic growth of the country. So this is particular undeniable fact that in a country like India, approximate 30,000 villages are not even linked. So this is the basic scenario that why you need to learn the highway planning, and through efficient highway planning, what kind of economic growth you can achieve easily. So let us discuss about the objects of highway planning. Objects of highway planning are majorly divided into 5 points. First point can be memorized or understood with the concept of SENC. That what is the particular object of providing highway planning or performing highway planning. So to plan a road network which is safe, which is efficient, which is comfortable and convenient. To plan a network which is safe, which is efficient, which is comfortable and convenient means SEC. You need to provide object of highway planning. Now another is about the future need. So to plan for the anticipated future development and social needs, future needs and social needs, you need to provide highway planning or thorough highway planning. Then the third point is about maximum utility in present. To plan for a road system having maximum utility within the available resources, keeping in mind the fiscal, budgetary and other administrative restraints, you need to provide the highway planning. Now another new word is introduced which is called as fiscal. The meaning of fiscal is financial. In order to plan the road system which can be maximum utilized in form of financial, budgetary and administrative system, you have to perform highway planning. Then to face the road development program from financial consideration or to work out the financial system, you have to provide the highway planning efficiently. And in order to make this road development program efficient and convenient for the people of country like India, you have to divide this construction process in various kind of phases with the consideration of financial resources. This is how objects of highway planning can be understood. That what are the objects of highway planning, then you can easily understand that first you need to provide the safe, efficient and comfortable travel. Then you need to provide the future need, social need expansion. Then you need to allocate and analyze the resources with maximum utility in present scenario. You need to work out the financial system and you need to phase wise you need to divide the construction process phase wise with the consideration of financial resources. This is how the object of highway planning can be understood. Now let us discuss about the road classification. This is the particular topic or concept which will hold you till the last breath of your transportation engineering segment. Road classification can be easily understood with the concept of PSC. This is the unique method that I am going to narrate, and you will never find this method in any other books or resources. You can divide the road according to P, S and C. On the basis of P means you will divide on the basis of pavement surface. You will divide the road surface, or road surface are divided on the form of based on seasons also, and on the basis of carriageway. So let us first discuss about the pavement surface classification of road. So how it can be understood? The pavement, what is this pavement? What is this pavement? Now let us learn about the pavement. Pavement is the upper surface of road. On which the vehicles are driven. This is called as pavement surface. Pavement surface can be divided into two parts. or the roads based on pavement surface can be divided into two parts. First is the surface road and second is the unsurfaced road. What is the surface road? Surface road are those roads which are provided with bituminous or cement concrete surface means in the surface of the road you can observe the element of bituminous or cement concrete. And another one is the unsurfaced road means these are those roads which are not provided with bituminous or cement concrete surface. You will not observe bituminous or cement concrete on the surface of the road. These are known as surface and unsurfaced road and they are classified on the basis of pavement surface. Now let us learn about the season based or the road classification depending on the during different seasons. So the roads are classified into two categories depending on whether they can be used during different seasons or not. First is the all weather roads and second is the fair weather roads. Now what is this all weather roads? All weather roads are those roads which can be used during all weather, all seasons. They can be utilized during all the seasons, either it is summer, winter or monsoon, except at major river crossings where interruptions to traffic is permissible to a certain extent only. The road pavement should be negotiable during all weather. So these are the roads which can be used during all the seasons. And fair weather roads means they cannot be utilized during all the seasons. So when they can be utilized, these are the roads on which the traffic may be interrupted during monsoon season. Because sometimes you observe that at causeways where streams are may follow overflow across the road, you may observe that the stream is flowing besides the road, and when the stream gets overflow the water comes on the surface of road and the road during the monsoon is not in working condition. So these are the roads which can be implemented or executed only during certain seasons. These are called as fair weather roads. And third one is the carriageway based roads. Carriageway is the surface of the road on which the vehicles and pedestrians are driven. These are also called as pavement. So on the basis of carriageway, there are two classifications. First is the paved roads and second is the unpaved roads. If the roads are provided with hard pavement course, if the roads are provided with hard pavement course, which should be at least a water-bound macadam. What is this WBM? We will be learning in our next topics of highway material. If the roads are provided a hard pavement course, then this WBM road or mixed carpet road or cement concrete road can be considered in the category of paved roads. And if they are not provided with the hard pavement course of at least a WBM layer, means if the surface of road are not provided even at least with a WBM road, which is the basic pavement layer, then it is called as unpaved road. Means the roads which are made with earthen roads, gravel roads, aggregate roads. These are the roads which do not have any kind of paved surface on the road. These are known as unpaved roads. So the paved surface P can be divided in surface and unsurfaced. Season can be divided in all weather and fair weather, and carriageway can be divided into paved and unpaved roads. So we have learned regarding the road classification. We have understood the concept of objects of highway planning, necessity of highway planning, that 30,000 of the villages in India are not connected with any kind of village, particular road link. So this is why you need to learn this particular segment of transportation engineering. I hope you have understood all the concepts very thoroughly. Thank you so much for paying your attention.